Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is how the top looks. Cute. Hi everyone, so this is the squares that we're going to be making for the middle of the top. So the supplies that you're going to need is a mid-waisted yarn. So it's one that says here that I can use a 3mm hook. It's 100% acrylic. That's the one that I am using. And I'm going to be using a 3.5mm hook. You're going to need 2 colors of yarn. So this is the color that I chose. Both of them are this brand. And you're going to need scissors. If you would like, you can use a measuring tape. But I'm not going to be using that for now. Or otherwise, I can still measure with centimeters how long this triangle is. So the triangle is about just a little over 13 centimeters. So let's get started with the middle of the flower. So we're going to start with the main color of the top in the middle. Just gonna zoom in. And we will start with a, let's do that. We are going to start with a, I always forget the beginning of the crochet. So we're going to start with the beginning. I forgot. I always remember before I crochet, and then I forget when I start filming. But yeah, here is that beginning. So now we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sorry guys, I don't know why this thing is not. Okay, there we go. Just gonna cut that bit out. Okay, so we're going to go underneath and you bring that out. And now we are going to chain 4. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we are going to go back into the first space here to do the circle. So I go under, bring this yarn over, and then you're going to bring the yarn over again. So now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to do 11 more double crochets. So that's 2. So in total there needs to be 12. So I'm just going to count that as 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there we have the 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to slip stitch to join the 2. Slip stitch, and I brought it over, and now chain 1, and I'm going to cut off that piece. Okay, so here is our circle. Now we bring in the flower petals color. So you can start at any space here, but I'm going to start in this space, and I am going to bring the yarn over. Just gonna pull it through, and then you want to bring this part under the petal so you can grab the 2 yarns. So now we're going to chain 4. So I chained 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do treble crochets. So we go 1, 2, and then in the same space you're going to do a treble, bring it under, and then bring it over 2, and then bring it over 2, and you're not going to bring it over these 2. You're going to hang on and then do another treble, and then bring over 2, bring over 2. Now you have 3 left on the yarn, and we're going to pull through all of them, and then we chain 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to do the same thing in the next space. So I've already grabbed the 2, and then we're going to put in the first treble crochet, and then the second treble crochet, and then the third treble crochet. There we have the 3 left, and pull through all of them, chain 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to go in that space to do 3 treble crochets in the same space. So there you have the 1, 2, 3. So there you have the third petal. Now we're going into the 4th petal. Just make sure you keep grabbing that yarn so that it doesn't make the flower not look nice, or you have to cut it in the end. So now we have 4 petals, 2, 3. Go into the next one, go into the next one, and we do the third. 1, 2, 3. Now we have that, and we move on to the next petal of the flower. And 1, 2, 3, and we go into the next petal. And we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. Okay, chain 1, 2, 3. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have the 9th petal, and we're going to put in 3 treble crochets in here. Chain 1, 2, 3. chain 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th. And the 12th. That last space. Okay, so now we chain 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to join our flower. So just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put in at the top there. We're going to slip stitch here and chain 1, and then we want to cut off. I need to sharpen my scissors. And then you just want to pull at the back, tighten the flower nicely. There you go. And now we get our main color. So our main color, you just wanna, I like to start here so that I can grab the yarn. So I'm going to do the same thing where I pull through from underneath, chain 1, 2, 3, and make sure you're holding on to the back of this one and the front of this one so that you can weave them in. So that's the first double crochet, second double crochet, and third double crochet. And then immediately we move on to the next space to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then we do another 3 on the next, in the next space, but this is going to be the corner space. So I'll show you 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to chain 3. Chain 1, 2, 3, and then in the same space we're going to do another 3 double crochets. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and then another group of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then another group of 3 in the next space. 1, 2, 3. This is the corner again. We chain 1, 2, 3, and then in the same space we do another group of 3. And then we move on to the next space to do another group of 3. So in between the spaces there should be 2 groups of 3. So let's do the second group of 3, and then we're going to do a corner. And then let's do another group of 3. And then we chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we chain 3 in the same space. and then 3 in the next space. And now we are going to do the corner. So this is how it looks. We've done 3, 3. Just gonna zoom out slightly. Okay, so now let's do a corner. Let's crochet a corner with 3, a group of 3, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then a group of 3. Okay, so now here's the 2. Now we need to join the corner. So we're going to slip stitch in 1, 2, and then in the third, gonna pull through and then pull through this. And then we are going to chain 3. Just need to pull out some yarn. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to crochet into the next space, and we're doing a double crochet immediately into the next space. Now we're going to do double crochets in all the spaces to make the square solid. Okay, so now we are here on top of the third one. We're going to do 2 double crochets in the hole, and then we chain 2. So we're not chaining 3, we chain 2, and then 2 squares in the hole, and then we go to the next space to do our double crochets. Carry on with the double crochet to the end. All right. We are nearing the end of this square. So that's how it looks. And then now we're going to do 2 double crochets in the corner. 1, 2, and then 2 chains. 1, 2, and then in the same space we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then move on to that row with double crochets. Let's move on to the end of the row. Okay, I'm nearing the end. So now I put in 2 double crochets, chain 2, put in another 2 double crochets, and then continue on to the other side, putting in double crochets in every space. No chaining like the other squares because we don't want spaces. If you're using a thinner yarn, My suggestion is for you to use a smaller hook because we want the yarn to be tight. Okay, so now I'm at the corner, so I'm going to put in 2 double crochets. Now put in 2, and now we carry on, and we are almost nearing the end of this row. So now I'm going to slip stitch in the third space, in this third chain. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to slip stitch. Now we make another row, and I'm going to chain 3, and then in the next space we are going to do the same thing we've been doing in the previous row, where I double crochet in every space. And I'm nearing the end, so I'm just going to show you one more time. So in this row you also do the same thing, where you put in 2 and then chain 2, and then we are going to double crochet all the way to the other side. So this is how the square looks for me. That's how it looks. So I'm still going to add another row. So this is how my squares look. You can definitely add another row if you want the square to be slightly bigger. I'm a size medium, and if you want the square, if you are a bit large chested, you can definitely add another square or even 2, and then we'll put it together, and I'll show you how to increase the size even more if you want to. So I'm going to continue offline making my square, and then we will meet when we put all the squares together. You need to make 4 of these. You need to make 4 of these. I've already made the 3, so I don't have to make all 4 on camera, but yes, you need 4 of these. Okay, so here are my 4 squares, and I'm going to put them together now into a square, because the top is going to be sitting like that, and then we're going to add to make the top bigger. So I'm going to use the crochet hook to put together the squares, but if you want, you can definitely use a yarn needle. So I want you to make sure that the back sides are facing each other like that, so that when you turn it around, the nice side and the nice side are outside. So I want you to face the nice sides, sorry. I want you to face the nice sides together, and then these be on the other side. So we're going to use the main hook, the main yarn color, to put these together. So when I put the squares together, and then you just want to go onto the outskirts of the yarn, or the 2 lines. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. You want to put these together, so you're not putting both of the things together. You're not putting, just going through the spaces. You are choosing the top of the crochet bits, and here you choose the back one. And we're going to slip stitch. So you choose the top, and then this side you choose the back, and you're going to slip stitch, use the top and the back, and you're going to slip stitch going that way, So you need to make sure that the yarn is not too tight. If it's too tight, it might be tricky to. This we will put into the top later, and I'm taking the top part. Just keep taking the top parts of the crochet bit of the rows, and it will make sense why. Just make sure that you put the squares together and see that they are well aligned. So we're almost at the end here. We are almost nearing the end. Okay. There you go. So we're almost at the end now, or at the corner, and I'm going to show you when you get to the corner what you need to do to add the other spaces, or to add the other squares to the top. So I'm at the corner and I'm putting the thing is my fingers here just to make sure that these things are aligned. And I'm going to take the top of this corner and the back of this corner. So now let's grab the other two. I'm going to grab the other two and we're going to join them. So I go to the middle and slip stitch there also. I'll go to the top and the top of this one and slip stitch. And then we're going to continue the slip stitch onto this part of the squares as well, just joining them together. Then we make sure that you do join the top parts, because like I said, it's gonna make sense once I have completed this and you turn around and see why we had to do it this way. So yes, okay, so I think my light went off there. Okay, so my light decided not to work anymore, but let's continue. And we're going to put through that and through that. and through that. Let me see, I'm just going to undo there quickly just to make sure that I have, okay, I have put in through the back. I'm going to put that through the back and through the back. Okay, let's just do that just to align the yarn. And then this is the corner or the middle. And there we go. All right, so we have joined these and this is how it looks. You can see the spacing in between. It can sit flat. So now we are going to turn the work around and we're going to now continue and put together the other side. So this side we also do the same thing at the back. Also do the same thing where we choose the front or top here and the back on the other side, just aligning it. And then the top and the back aligned, the top and the back aligned, and we continue going straight. Okay, so I'm going to go straight and finish this up off camera, and then we will meet when the square is together. So this is how it looks when it's done. It is super cute. So now let's do the sides. The sides. If you're really small, this can fit, and if you made more rows when you were doing the square, this would probably fit, so you would just need to make one side row. If you haven't, then you can keep adding rows until the top sits the way you want it to sit. So I don't want to begin right at the corner, so I'm just going to, let me start in the middle here. So I'm going to double crochet 1, 2, 3, and I'm holding on to the other side. So I'm going to continue with the double crochets. We're going to double crochet going the other way. So make sure that you're not putting the nice side at the back. So you see how it looks in the front, it continues looking this way, and the back looks the same. So make sure that when you do crochet that way, you consider that little fact as well. So we're at the corner, and I'm just going to continue with the crochet, and then I'm going to put one crochet in the corner, and I continue on. So we'll double crochet all the way to the other side. And then when you reach the corners of the top, you are going to do the same thing we did when we were doing the squares by themselves. So now we're going to put 2 double crochet in here, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we put 2 double crochets in the same space, and then continue on from the next space. I'm going to do the rows, and once I see that the top is covering the way that I want it to cover, I'm going to do just a slip stitch around, just to close the top and make it look nice, or actually a single crochet. So a single crochet, instead of going under, I'll just be going this way and then up, and then there's the single crochet. So that's what I'm going to do in the last row. But now we are still busy with the double crochets. So I'm going to do double crochets around my top until I am happy with the size of the top. And then I will let you guys know how many I did. Hey guys, so I ended up crocheting 1, 2, 3 double crochet rows and 1 single crochet row. So this is how my top looks, and now I'm just going to do the strand. So I'm going to do the beginning and then go under. So I'm going to chain 120, or as long as I would like this thing to be. So I'm going to chain it, and then I'm going to put it through here at the top. So after I chain this, because I don't want it to be thin, it can go into your skin if it's a bit too thin and maybe be a bit uncomfortable. So once I have done that, did the 120 or however long I want the chain, I'm just going to go back and do single crochets. So I'll just go back, chain 1, and then I'll go back and just go back until the end, so that it's like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and our top will be finished. So I'll just put the rope through here, and then at the back, crisscross, bring one side here, bring one side here, and that will be our top.